What's good? This Bijou Girl Divine Karma coming in with a late night chit chat oracle message type of ordeal. I didn't do one this morning. I was running a little late for work, but I did want to come in and drop a little something, just relaxing, just got out the shower. Um, no card, but I do have a topic I want to touch on. Obviously, I am here. I send you peace, light, love, and harmony as I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. All right. So I was, it was last weekend, this past weekend, I was having a conversation with my niece. Shout out to Ariana. I was having a conversation with her, and she's, mid 20s. And we were talking about, Spirit speak to me, through me, and for me. We were talking about people, and me and her were having a discussion about men. But the topic, was about people when they grown, and in they, later years of life, you know, are they going to change? You dealing with somebody, you say, people can change, and you be waiting for the change to happen. And let me tell you what my niece said. I laughed, but when I laughed, I told her, like, I got to steal that. She said, I was saying something along the lines of, maybe he'll change, at some point, in his life. And the individual I was talking about is, what is he, 50 now, I think? She said, ain't he? He grown. His frontal lobe is fully developed. He's not going to change. His frontal lobe is fully developed. I laughed so freaking hard because when I sat back and thought what she said, and thought about it, I was like, you right. Let me tell you something, people. When you're dealing with people, and I'm not saying people can't change, but you have to do it's like a monitor and a meter. If you're dealing with somebody and you have told them several times how you know things that they do make you feel a certain way, maybe they've cheated, maybe they've done things in a relationship, and you keep telling yourself that they will change. Well, you have to monitor that frequency of change. Are you seeing any indications that this change may take place? Now, you have to be mindful when you're dealing with people, and especially in relationships, and they've done certain things, or certain things may have happened, and they are claiming to, I'll change. Again, they have to change for them, not for you. Change has to happen because on a soul level, they know that how they are treating you is wrong, right? Not because it can't be because I'm a change for you, so so you won't leave me. Like, that can't be the reason. It has to be on a soul level. I'm going to change because you know what? This is not how a god or a goddess moves. This is not this is not a high frequency, moving in my higher self, know thyself type of frequency. That has to be the reason, not because, man, if I don't change, she's gonna leave or he's gonna leave, right? But you have to monitor, and pay attention. Let me tell you something. I was in a 15-year marriage. My monitor, I I had monitored the monitor at this point, at some point in the game, right? And my biggest thing when I got divorced was that I was so frustrated about was the time that I wasted. And it's not truly wasted because we learn lessons and we go through this life and we learn lessons, and it was a lesson for me to learn. But I also know I took a detour because the lesson actually could have got learned in about the first 3 years that I was married, but I took the detour. And the universe kept sending me signs and signals, and my monitor and my meter was like off the Richter scale, and I was, you know, did not adhere. So you have to monitor when you're in a relationship. That frontal lobe is fully developed. And one thing I have realized, Sometimes people will tell you that they will change. When you don't see an indication that they are going to change, you have to realize that some people at some point, that people actually, and they like who they are, even when it's not a, I don't want to say good or bad, but even when it's not a really, for sake of conversation, good person. Some people they they like who they are, and because they don't want to change, and you have to leave them where they at. Why? Because that frontal lobe, as my niece said, is fully developed, right? So yes, people can change, but once that frontal lobe is fully developed, you have to ask yourself, one, what they say they're going to change. I got my meter going. Do I see any indications of this thus said change that's supposed to take place? And if so, what are they changing for? What is their reason for changing? Is it because they know that the frequency they need to operate in, that is why they're changing to be a better version of themselves, right? And then you have to, ask yourself, if you don't see any indications of changes, and they are still mistreating you or still doing the things that they were doing that got you in this, predicament in the first place, man, some people like being who they are. They want to be in the dark. And as bad as they soul may want to be in the light, some people will always move in their ego. They will. And when you realize that people, literally, I just have told somebody, you happy being this way. You got to be, because there's no sign of change. I think you are actually happy being this way. And that's fine. You just have to be happy being this way without divine in your life, right? And you gotta get to that point. So the frontal lobe is fully developed at a certain age, right? So just turn your monitor and your meter on, and just familiarize yourself with what I've spoken, because a lot of times we don't pay attention to our monitor and our meter, and we don't realize that frontal lobe is fully developed, and this individual likes being who they are, and you have to let them be there. You can't change anybody. You can't. You can't change anybody. They have to want to change for themselves, because they want to be the best version of themselves. Because if not, again, the frontal lobe is fully developed, and that's fine. You happy being the piece of that you are? Wonderful. I'm happy for you. You just have to be it without me. This is your girl, Divine Karma. Y'all know the drill. I love you, and I love it when you love me back. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.